Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. We are on the second part of our show this morning. And of course, we're taking a total U-turn, something totally different being discussed here, something close to all of our hearts, the global flotilla. And we're going to talk with someone who attempted to be part of the flotilla. So he's going to share his amazing journey with us. He is Brother Fazel Behra. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thanks for hosting me.
An absolute pleasure. I think you have an amazing story to share with us, and for people like myself and others who have dreamt and have kind of made the niyat that if there are future flotillas, we would like to be on it. Perhaps by way of this conversation, you will tell us how to prepare for it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Brother Fazel Behra. Who are you? Where do you come from? And how did you dream about being on the flotilla and adding your voice and support for the people of Palestine?
Sister Julie, a month and a half ago, so we're already a month since the beginning of the flotillas. We had to be there in Tunisia on the 1st of September, and we're already on the 1st of October. So prior to that, 2 weeks before that, or 3 weeks prior to that, so mid-August, I was on one of the Gaza groups, and I saw a post going out saying that there is space for 2 people to join the global Sumud flotilla. And I was very obliging, and I was very, very happy, and I put my name down. And a week prior to this happening, I phoned one of the guys on the group, and I said, look, I put my name down and I didn't get any response. So Rikasha told me, listen, my brother, I'm so sorry, but all the spots have been filled. And that Tuesday night, I went to bed very disheartened, very, very disappointed. And Wednesday morning, I got a call from Rikasha saying, listen, there's a spot available. Are you ready? And I said, yes. And I immediately took a picture of my passport. I didn't want this to become any more delayed. So I took a picture of my passport and I forwarded it to him. And alhamdulillah, I got accepted onto that group, and I knew 7 people from South Africa at that point in time that were appointed to go and join the Global Sumud Flotilla. I didn't know any of them, and I only got to meet them once we reached Tunisia. My name is Fazel Behra, 54 years old. I have 4 beautiful children. I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. And when I broke this news to my children and I told them, listen, I'm going to be doing this, joining the Global Sumud Flotilla. At first, they were very, very reluctant to accept the fact that I'm doing something, that is going to, perhaps because I got an info pack from the group. And when I read through the info pack, I had my son Muhammad sitting next to me, and we were going through all the vital points that we needed to read through. I needed to give them an updated will. I needed to do a lot of soul searching at the same time and think, listen, this is could be the end of my life. Alhamdulillah, if that happens, alhamdulillah, I'm ever so happy to do something for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the people of Gaza, who is close to every single person's heart. And I would not do it if I didn't feel the need to do it, correct? I mean, it's so easy. One guy told me, you could have just sent money. You have a responsibility, you have children, and what are you doing? And I said, listen, we all have responsibility. It's time to put that responsibility into action. And it was a roller coaster being there and not being able to join the flotilla. I spent 19 days in Tunisia, so I will give you a rundown of what happened.
Okay, before you get there, let's talk about the type of mental preparation that you needed to undergo before going to Tunisia, and also the fact that this was self-funded. Everybody on that flotilla from all around the world have self-funded their journey on that flotilla, whether they in fact got onto the boats or not. Up to that point in time, they had to pay out of their own pockets. How did that sit with you and the rest of the people that applied?
So like I say, it was a very last minute thing. On Wednesday, I got accepted, and Saturday I had to fly out to Tunisia. In fact, I was so naive. I asked the guy when I got accepted, I said, which port do I go to? Is this boat leaving from Durban or Cape Town? And he said, no, my brother, you got to fly to Tunisia. So Friday, helter-skelter, packing a bag, getting all my things sorted out. And Thursday afternoon, we had a team. There was a lady from the UK, psychologist, that had a Zoom meeting with everybody, all the participants globally, and listening to her was quite daunting, because she's telling you the worst case scenarios and what to expect and how you have to be mentally and physically be prepared for this year. But nothing deterred anybody. And I think everybody I saw on that Zoom meeting got to meet them in Tunisia. So the real aspect is that knowing that when you are leaving, I even told my kids and I told whoever, my siblings and my family, look, it is a moment of being on the right side of history. I could sit back and just watch this happening and say somebody else has to do this. But I could not sit back and watch the genocide and the atrocities that's taking place in Gaza and think that we cannot be taking part in this year. And when I left, the day of that particular Saturday, I had hundreds of people messaging me and asking me, can we join? And I told them, look, I think it's too late. And hopefully, inshallah, with the next flotilla, I'm sure there would be an opportunity of such again. So the thing is that, for 7 people to be out, to have been accepted for this year, and when I got there, 12 people were there. So 2 people decided to join at the conference and at the summit that was hosted there. That they decided at the spur of the moment, because they were there with the Al Jazeera English team. So it was Femida and Prince, and they decided, no, they want to join the flotilla, and it will be, an interesting aspect for them to take note of as a media. And they got accepted. And so from 10, we became 12. So Zahira Sumar joined us from UAE, but she's a South African citizen. And the other person that joined us was so could I mention the 10 people that were with us?
It's not necessary. It's not necessary as long as we have numbers. As long as we have numbers, that's fine. But just to take a step back, Femida Miller from Al Jazeera, even though she had intended on joining the flotilla, for some reason didn't get on. Do you know why she didn't manage to get onto one of the ships or one of the boats?
Okay, so she had a deadline, and every day there was a delay. So I remember around the 14th of September, we were all at the port, very, very excited. I'm talking all 12 of us got to Sidi Bouzid, and hundreds of people from Tunisia came to bid us farewell. And we were thrilled that we are going on this. So it was a roller coaster of emotions. I was bidding farewell to my family and making live videos and live streaming the whole event. And that night at 10 o'clock, we were still not ready to depart. And there was a lot of bureaucratic issues. And I think behind the scenes, already knowing that 2 of the boats were drone attacked, the ones that came in from Barcelona. And no matter what was happening, I don't think a single person out of every 350 participants were ready to go back home. Everybody was more hyped up and even more ready. And there was some sense of peace in our heart, knowing that we're going to be doing this year. It's amazing. And although daunting. So what I want to say is that in a short space of time, there's a lot of emotions that we had to go through. Even sitting in the training room, even though they're telling you the worst case scenario. So there are four scenarios that's going to play out now.
Can I please ask you to save those scenarios for after the ad break? We will be going for an ad break in literally half a minute. But very quickly, the reason why Fahmida Miller, the correspondent for Al Jazeera, didn't manage to get onto one of the boats.
Yeah, so because her boss had given her that Sunday was the day that she needed to make a decision because of all the delays. So the Sunday before the last boat left on the 17th of September, that Sunday prior to that Wednesday, I don't know the date exactly.
Okay, let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. We'll pick up the conversation after the break.
100%. Thank you.
Welcome back. We are listening to the gripping tale by Fazel Behra. He was one of the fortunate South Africans to be granted permission to join the global flotilla. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to get onto the boat, and he's going to explain to us why. I also asked him about Fahmida Miller. I spoke about her particularly because she is a South African as well, and she is a journalist with Al Jazeera. So, Fazel, welcome back to you very quickly. The reason why Fahmida couldn't manage to go onto the boat was because of deadlines with her work. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So she was very keen, obviously, if the boats had departed as was initially noted, that would have been a done deal. And then obviously with all the subsequent delays and the bureaucratic issues and the sabotaging of boats, yeah, she had to make her way back on that Sunday.
Okay, so you were going to share 4 points with us, which helped mentally prepare all of you to get onto the boats, and also the possible eventualities that could play out, which I suppose was very daunting. So what were those 4 points, and how did that make you feel?
Okay, so the first scenario, which is the most vital one, is trying to reach the shores of Gaza. And the second scenario is being intercepted, which seems very imminent now. And the third scenario is getting bombed out, getting attacked and getting killed while trying to pass the red zone. And the fourth scenario is being intercepted and asked to return to Tunisia. So these were the 4 possibilities. Now we know from the previous flotillas that they have been intercepted and then directed to Ashdod, and then those participants were then deported back to their countries. So held in prison for up to 72 hours, and then obviously harassed and intimidated. And, I met a girl by the name of Chloe who was on the Handala. And, what a soft-spoken woman. And she gave us a little bit of a rundown of their time. And she says for the first time, she's so cool, calm, and collected. And for the first time, she flipped because of the way they treated them in the Israeli prisons. So they went on a hunger strike because they were afraid to eat the food that was presented to them. They didn't know if it was going to be laced. I think the only thing they had was water. And also, they were humiliated. You get stripped down to your bare, naked basically, and you're left standing in that condition for a while, and they try and humiliate you and treat you as subhuman as possible, and they try and break you.
And we also heard I'm sorry I've interrupted you. We are pressed for time, so I want to try and get to some important points. That there was a threat by apartheid Israel that they were going to be arresting the Sumud flotilla, and they will charge them under the Terrorism Act, and that is very extreme. Did that concern you at all? Although you didn't actually make it on the flotilla, and you'll tell us the reason why. But was that very disconcerting for you in any way?
Yes, it's a scary point because these people have disregard for human life, and they don't care about anybody else or any other civilians, no matter how you do know. This is 44 countries, nationalities, people with a concern for the people of Gaza, who are coming on a humanitarian aid mission, who have no intention to fight, who have no intention to cause any trouble, but to break the siege and to give the much necessary aid that is required for the people of Gaza. There is that element of hope that they're going to break the siege. And there's that element of hope that the word Sumud is resilience. It's such a beautiful name they chose for this flotilla. So the word Sumud is resilience, and the people of Gaza face this resilience every single day of their lives, to be steadfast, to be hoping, and to be having this deep-rooted feeling that they're going to be free one of these days. So I think so. Everybody had this peace and calm in their heart. No matter what, I speak to Riaz every day on the boat. He's on the flotilla, and I speak to him every single day just to get a feel of how the participants are doing on that particular boat. That boat was sponsored by the South African sponsors. It cost them 100,000 euros. Understand something? Whatever if it gets intercepted, everything on that boat gets confiscated by the IOF. Every single boat does not get returned to Tunisia. It's a total loss, and your belongings, your money, your wallet, your essential, whatever you have on you, it is going to get confiscated. They will deport you with just the clothes you have on the day you get intercepted. And all you need is your passport hanging around your neck. So with all this in mind, these people are brave heroes.
Tell me, how is it that you didn't manage then to get onto a boat? I understand 2 boats were sabotaged. Was one of the boats the one that you were going to get onto, and what was the nature of that sabotage act?
Okay, so out of the 350 people that were in the hall, a dozen boats, if not more, were sabotaged. So in the port of Kamat, where the South African flotilla was parked, the sponsored one, it was called, my boat was called Happy Days, and the Florida, which was sponsored by the South African sponsors, was the Florida boat. Both of them were sabotaged. So from a small problem, it was just a fuel leak. Then the next time we went to the boat, it became an engine problem and then an electrical problem. So then we started camping in front of the boats for the following 3 days. We did not leave from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Once the Coast Guards came onto the site, we would be asked to leave. So we stood at the boats, ensured that the mechanics were constantly busy with the boats, ensured that nobody would enter that boat if we did not know what was their purpose on that boat. So we became watch guards for those boats, and we tried our level best to get the 2 boats started. Alhamdulillah, the South African boat, the Florida, is on the water together with Riaz and Zukiswa. So fortunately, we managed to at least get that boat started up. And it was multiple things that happened. I mean, people ask, how did they sabotage the boats in the ports? These people have their tentacles. The Israelis, the Zionists have their tentacles in every part of the world. I think money can pay for anything. Money can buy anything today. And these sabotagers, these people who work for them, who have probably people who work in the dockyard, people who work there in the ports, have been helping them in some way or the other. The largest number of Jews outside Israel live in Tunisia. I was told this by a local Tunisian. So we see that they have their tentacles everywhere. They are cowards, and they do these things. They sabotage the family boat in territorial waters. So I cannot understand why they would be so intimidated by ordinary civilians trying to do a peaceful humanitarian aid.
Okay.
So, it's
So
beyond me.
how did you feel when you were told that your boat is not going to go on the water? Not only you, there were a whole host of other people impacted. And what was your next move then? Did you return home immediately?
Yes, I was very, very, very disappointed, extremely saddened that my boat, only one engine started. And I even told the captain, can we not go with this boat? I mean, one engine, is it not sufficient? He says, look, to pass the seaworthiness, you need to have both engines working. So it's impossible. The officials are going to allow this water onto this boat onto to float. So even we worked it out. We said, okay, it took us 3 days to fix up the engine. It may take us another 3 days to fix up the other engine. That's if all the parts that was needed was available in time. So we decided at that point in time that when that Florida left, it was Wednesday. I did not know there's going to be so many delays in the interim. And then I made the decision, I'm alone. I might as well come back home. I've tried my level best, very disappointed. And my heart is still with those people, and my heart is still with the boats. And I hope, inshallah, the siege will be broken.
Inshallah, Ameen. Fazel, Behra, wonderful talking to you. Very quickly, because we've got to wrap up in the next half a minute. What is your advice to people who may want to join future flotillas regarding preparedness and the type of money they need to put up front?
Okay, so like you said in the beginning, yes, each individual had to pay for the accommodation, for your flight to whichever country you're going to be joining the flotilla, and it's okay. It's okay, because this is fi sabilillah, for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters who are going through such atrocities. And I really, really plead to the Ummah to catch a wake up, to stand firm, to be united, and to be standing on the right side of history, and to do what is in your heart. What is in your heart. And maybe you feel you cannot do it. You have the courage, and you can do this. It is possible.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. We've run out of time. But thank you indeed for sharing your story with us. Allah accept all of your efforts, go well, and maybe you'll be on the next flotilla. Or we hope and pray, inshallah, there won't be a need for another flotilla, that peace does come to the Palestinian people. Allah really proclaims His kun and emancipates the people of Palestine. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Ameen. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.